Hi everyone. I've just been playing and learning a few new things about my Silhouette Studio Designer Edition. It makes it even more valuable than most people will tell you about. There are many features in Silhouette Studio Designer Edition that I use almost every day. First of all, if many of you have been to my blog, which is paulinestuff.blogspot.com, you know I play a lot with painted papers, particularly painted deli papers, which make beautiful patterns. One of my inherent issues is if I use that paper, it is gone or only used for one project, and then of course I must make more, using lots of paint, getting my fingers very dirty, and doing a whole bunch of things. But I have found that I can scan those patterns into my computer. I can do that two ways. I can use the scanner that's on my printer, or I can take a photo of it with this tablet, which I'm using to record this little video of the screen, period. The reason I'm doing that is because very often the screen captures do not show the details of the software, and I'm trying to make sure that you know where I'm clicking. A lot of times you can't see those little tiny icons. So we'll see how this works. It's probably going to be a trade-off between that and perhaps some jerkiness or some moire kind of patterns from the camera. At any rate, I want to start and show you a couple of things. First of all, at the bottom of this screen, Silhouette School Blog had a wonderful edition of how to add patterns to the Silhouette Studio, which I've done. In fact, I took many of my papers and added them. And I'm not going to go into how I added them because her blog does a good job of that. But most of these patterns down here, I have added from my papers. For example, let me draw a square here, and you'll see I clicked on the pattern. That happens to be one of the patterns that I painted and then printed over. I haven't done anything with that piece of paper yet, but I'm going to show you how I can make washi tape using all of these patterns and not even getting my fingers dirty. So this picture is a little dark. The picture is actually quite much more beautiful than that of the pattern over here. Anyway, I'm going to just delete that and then show you the page I've already made of washi tape. And that's coming in a little bit on the dark side as well. The picture's much prettier. And I'm going to show you how I did all of this. And frankly, I have purchased labels, sticky back labels. And this company over here called Online Labels. I'm going to scan it over here, and I'm going to come in closer so you can see onlinelabels.com. And this is the item that I used. I bought 100 of these for $29.95. Well, with shipping, it's $36.50. So divided by 100, we're talking about 36 cents, approximately 36 cents per sheet. What's wonderful about these in particular, and you all may not be able to use them, is that they are 12 by 18. So for 36 cents, I get 12 by 18 of a sheet that has already adhesive on the back. So I save a lot of money not applying adhesive. I save a lot of money not running things through my little old sticker machine. Those adhesive refills are pretty pricey. So it already comes that way. All I have to do is cut them, and I can either use the Silhouette to cut or plain old scissors. So let me get back to the sheet that I did this morning. All of this is done and will be run through my printer. I happen to have a wide format printer which takes 12 inches. You can do this with your 8.5 by 11 inch paper if you buy the labels that are 8.5 by 11, you can do pretty much the same thing. But I'm going to show it to you on this format. And it's just so much fun. Because of the designer edition, many of the tools are built in. For example, this pattern up here, I'm going to hone in on it. I'm going to bring it up close, is kind of static in that the design goes all the way across. If I go down to the advanced options and I find this line here, watch what happens up here when I move this arrow. See, it turns it on the diagonal. That's just one of the things it can do. I can also take the scale pattern and make it larger and smaller. I can do many, many other things. I can rotate the pattern, which I haven't had a mind to do. Or in another case of paper that has, and I don't want this to be that small, so I'm going to take that back up because it's a little bit too small for me. Anyway, there I go. This gives you the basic idea of how to use your patterns once you get them into your pattern library. This is the same window that my patterns are in. If I go up here, it's called the advanced options, and you can do all these things with them. So this is an idea of how you can do that. Now, that's just the tools that are available in the advanced option and the pattern window. What I want to show you as well is you can literally have even more fun than that. Going up to, I'm sorry about that, my little handheld tripod just slipped on me. Okay, in the Silhouette Designer Edition, you get this little window up here, right here. If I click on this pattern again, I think it's still highlighted, I click on this window, I can do a whole bunch more things with that one pattern. I can change the color. There I go. As I move this little dial, if I didn't want it to be those orangey tones, I could make them blues and greens, bright blue, purples, back to maybe the orange and red. Alright, so I can do that. I can take the contrast button. Now, the reason it went back to the original is I didn't hit apply effects. Some cases you have to do that. Anyway, I can take the saturation down if I didn't want it. I could actually make it all black and white if I wanted. That's the same pattern. Or reduce the contrast, increase the contrast, make it much brighter. So you can see you can have a lot of fun with these patterns. And that's what I did on this whole sheet. So all I have to do now is run it through the printer and cut it. And I've got washi tape. And this whole sheet of paper actually cost, what did I say? I said it was, let's see, let me go over here, remember that. It was about 37 cents a piece. So that entire sheet of paper with adhesive on it cost only 37 cents. The other advantage is the paper that you pull off it, the backer. If you pull it, well, you won't be able to pull it off, but before you cut it up, you can turn this sheet that's already printed on one side, turn it over and apply paint and stamps and whatever you want to the other side, and then cut those up into washi tape, pull the strips off, and the other strips that would be the backing paper that now has a bunch of paint on it, you can run through your sticker machine or apply adhesive and have that going too. So you almost get even more value. Of course, this is not accounting for the cost of ink. And I don't quite have a way of adding that factor in. But it's quick, and most of all, it's just so much fun to use these extra tools that come with the Designer Edition. As I said, there are two tools I use. One is my pattern tool, which gives me access to my patterns, and I'm still adding more in. Every interesting pattern I find, I add in, and you'd think that this striped one here, if I turn this into this striped pattern here, it's kind of bland, right? It really is. But when you go down to that diagonal line, you can raise it in and actually make beautiful diagonal stripes with it. In this case, I would want to reduce the scale and then turn the diagonals any way I want. So I think you all will be able to have lots of fun with this and enjoy some additional features of the Designer Edition. So I will end up with a whole lot of washi tape as a result of this exercise, just sitting at the computer. And as I said, this is the place I get the labels, and they have all different sizes, and they're very nice company. And 36 cents, one whole sheet of 12 by 18. And they have adhesive full-page labels in other sizes as well. So I hope you got a little bit of knowledge that will add to your enjoyment of the Silhouette Studio Designer Edition and what it can do. That's it for now. Bye-bye.